Hey guys, Ryan Thomas with Failtech here, and what's it like to run an LG G2 in 2016/17? Well, you came to the right place for that answer. Here's my review of the LG flagship from just over 3 years ago. A quick heads up, you're going to be paying anywhere from £70 to £100 for the handset from August of 2013, with its main competitors being the Galaxy S4 from Samsung and the One M7 from HTC. The design and build is a love-hate type deal with a very clean design that I feel hasn't dated very badly at all. It's plastic and glass with a barely noticeable metal rail that surrounds the device too. The near 76% screen to body ratio gives the phone a fantastically clean look on the front with minimal bezels. Along with that on the front, you're getting the front facing camera and the call speaker. On the left is a micro SIM tray, and at the bottom is a headphone jack, the micro B connector, the unexceptional bottom firing speaker and microphone. On the back is where the buttons are. Volume up and volume down buttons, above and below an illuminating power/lock button. The plastic back doesn't really feel too bad either. It's a very light phone at 143 grams too. A great feeling phone in the hand then. Performance on this phone was better than pretty much all of its competitors at the time. It's still fairly quick, and with fluid animations even on 4.4.2. Whoa, wait, hang on a minute. Right, what are you doing? It's upgradable to 5.0.2, what the hell? Well, I couldn't find an easy way to do this, so I left it as it is. There's your answer. Games still run really smoothly, even with 3D titles like Drift and Fun that I've been using as a benchmark recently. Simpler games like Color Switch run even better too. Everyday use is fine with the Snapdragon 800 and 2GB of RAM that this guy has to offer. The SD800 in the G2 was far better than arguably its biggest rival, Galaxy S4's Snapdragon 600. The G2 also comes in 16GB/ 32GB storage configurations with no expansion, unfortunately, unless you use the glorious cloud. Like I said, it's running 4.4.2 on this device, which is stock, and it runs really smoothly, although the design of the GUI might imply that the skin is very heavy. Performance doesn't seem to reflect this at all, which is fantastic. There have been some problems for me and a few other users of inexplicable crashes and restarts as a result, but these happen maybe once a day if you're really heavily using the device, but overall shouldn't be too much of an issue here. Also, there are a hell of a lot of people who haven't had this issue, so maybe it's just luck of the draw. The skin is a little dated and definitely not the most pretty thing in the world, but it's definitely functional. The display is a gorgeous 5.2-inch 1080p IPS panel, which looks great with vivid colours and great levels of brightness, so outdoor use is just as good as indoor. The 441 ppi means you're not getting the best VR experience, but it means you're getting a very crispy and sharp display for your money, and the overall viewing experience is brilliant for the money that you pay for one of these old devices. Also, that 75.9% screen to body ratio, I mention it again, it is spectacularly immersive. The camera isn't too bad either, but it's definitely not the best in the world. It's a 13 megapixel sensor with f2.4 glass and optical image stabilization. Low light isn't the best and dynamic range isn't perfect, but what would you expect from a phone of this age with this camera spec and of this price? The OIS is nice to have. It's a feature you don't really see on older phones, and it means that you can shoot fairly smooth video. You can shoot 1080p video at 60 FPS, which looks okay under good light. The front facing camera is a 2.1 megapixel affair that's capable of shooting 1080p at 30 FPS, which is rather impressive for the age of the phone, but definitely nothing to write home about. This phone is good enough for taking snaps and sending those to your friends or whatever, but it's certainly not the best. You can't complain for the price though. This phone has been pretty good for battery life for me. Even playing games, listening to music, watching videos, contacting people, the battery life has actually been pretty good for me, and I've had a good experience when it comes to battery in this device. Unfortunately though, the device has a non-removable 3000 mAh battery. I say unfortunately not because of the 3000 mAh-ness, but because it's not removable, and this means you can't upgrade the battery or even add a battery back like you can with other certain devices. The single speaker on the bottom, it doesn't get too loud, but it's better than nothing, I guess. It's functional, and that's all I have to say about that. The things that stand out for me is that my unit does restart at least every 2 days and can sometimes get caught in boot loops for 10 to 15 minutes. Also, the phone does get rather toasty on the back on the top half of the device, and as a result of this, I have to leave it alone for a few minutes. But I'm sure that's just my unit. Like I said, not all users actually have had these problems. The fantastic display and build quality make this phone great. Along with the great battery life and good placement of the buttons being on the back, I have almost fallen for the design. What a fantastic little device. Thanks for watching guys. I would definitely recommend one of these as long as you've got a good return policy on it. If it does get caught in the boot loop and it is one of those phones that tends to crash a lot, then you know you do have a backup to send it back. But if you do manage to get your hands on a good version of this or a good one of these devices, it is fantastic. I love the design, I love the display. The camera isn't too bad, maybe maybe I dug into it a little bit. It's a great camera, and the fact that you're only paying between £70 and £100 for this device is fantastic too. So leave a like if you enjoyed it, leave a dislike if you didn't, leave a comment saying, well, maybe my device did crash or maybe it didn't, and give me ideas on cheaper phones you'd like to see reviewed as well. Also, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you all on Friday. Thanks for watching, guys. It's your boy Ryan Thomas, and I will see you next time. Peace.